Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about how to get the best definition for your hair type, your hair texture, because I typically tend to get a lot of questions when I post my wash and go videos about the products that I use, my recommendations, etc. So I just wanted to make this video to generally just give some tips and walk you through my own process or routine for getting the best curls for my wash and goes. I know it's easy to see someone else's hair, their routine, and say, this is what I want, without the acknowledgement that this would look different for you, or it simply just won't work for your hair type. So I have these basic tips that will work regardless of the curl pattern or your curl type. Keep in mind, I am not a professional, okay? All of this information is basically by experience, and so this is what I've learned the past couple months in just dealing with my hair and starting my natural hair journey from scratch. Okay, first, as always, you want to make sure that you're starting on clean hair. Like, you cannot put gel and a bunch of other products on hair that is not clean, on a scalp that is not clean. That's just not a good thing in general. Not only will it cause product buildup, but it might break you out, especially if you have sensitive skin, because gels in general, when mixing with other products, they typically tend to flake unless you've figured out your product combo where you experience no flaking. But styling gels in general tend to flake, and so mixing them with products that has been on your hair for like days or weeks at a time, trying to achieve a wash and go, is just not going to give you those results. Okay, so you want to just start on clean hair, because that ensures that there is the removal of the dirt, debris, and product buildup. But you also want to do this because water is the ultimate hydrator, and it will reveal your truest curl pattern. So that is a pattern that you want to replicate, because that is the one that is yours. So forget about watching your favorite YouTuber, forget about watching even my videos and trying to replicate my curl pattern. What you need to do is allow your hair to be saturated in water. Take a mirror or step out the shower, look into the mirror, look at what your curls look like, because that is what your curls will look like when your hair is hydrated, and that is what your curls are going to look like when you have found the best product for your hair, because that product will replicate what water does to your hair naturally. That product that you find, whether that's a gel, a mousse, or a custard, it will hold your curls in its most hydrated state, and it is going to give you the best wash and go. So that is my most important tip. If you take anything away from this video, take this. Okay, so after washing your hair and figuring out what your curls look like when they're drenched in water, aka super hydrated, then you'll go through your normal routine of conditioning if you want to condition, deep conditioning if it's your deep conditioning day, and then you will moisturize your hair. Tip number 2 would be to find the products that replicate the definition that water gives your hair, which is what I mentioned earlier. So again, that would be your gel, that would be your custard, that would be your mousse, that might be a curl cream, depending on your hair type. And this is where the experimental phase kind of comes in. You have to learn your hair, you have to learn what your hair likes. You basically have to know and understand your hair, so you can know and understand what products works best with your hair, right? So again, figure out based on your hair type, texture, curl pattern, what products gives you that look that water naturally gives you. For some people that might be a gel, some people it might be a custard, some people it might be mousse, right? I've experimented with all of them, and I now do like a combo between a mousse and a gel, but you have to know what works for you. This is what might work for me, but it might not work for you. So you have to do your due diligence and do your research and invest in yourself to really get the best results. So you will use an application process that works for you. I like to apply my scalp serums and leave-ins first and then detangle. And the last thing I will do is apply my styling products of choice and go into product application for my wash and go. Something to note is that when your hair is saturated in water, it is weighed down. So what happens after you dry your hair? It springs back up into shape. It gets frizzy. It might get tangled, all the things. And so if my hair is like semi-dry or not hydrated enough, I will go in with additional water, or I will use a mousse, because mousse is generally water based, and so I like to use like a curl enhancing mousse just for that extra oomph before going in with my gel and styling my hair. So a water based product will naturally replicate that definition that you see when your hair is saturated in the water. Again, this is the key, and this is what will set a good foundation for your hold-in product, which would be your gel or your custard. If you have a water-based product like a mousse or the original water, applying the gel while your hair is hydrated is gonna enhance your curl and also hold it. And if that does not work, there's this technique that I like to use, especially when my hair was really short. I would go in and finger coil to emphasize that curl and to just make my curls pop. And that's the key, especially when you have short hair. You want to implement styling techniques that is gonna help bring your curls out and just hold the curl. And it also depends on your hair type and texture as well, but also the look that you're going for. If your hair is a little bit longer, then you want to go section by section and take your time. You don't have to spend a lot of time on the section, but you want to make sure that you're applying your products thoroughly throughout the section and then allowing your hair to like naturally clump together. And if you want to take it a step further, this is where you would go in and do your additional techniques for definition. Now I also use like a raking method to smooth the products in, and I think that helps with clumping my curls together, and it helps to smooth the product in and make sure I'm removing any excess product that will cause any additional buildup and flaking. And I have to say, I've had less experiences with flaking or product buildup because I'm taking my time. And so I will just repeat those steps all throughout my hair, section by section, because my hair is longer now. But if your hair is super short, then once you're done, you're done. You can do two things. You can allow your hair to air dry, or you could use a diffuser to help your hair dry. To protect it at night, obviously you will use a bonnet, silk scarf, whatever it is that you want to use to make sure you're protecting your hair, because I genuinely feel like my hair in a wash and go state is at its most vulnerable, it's at its most fragile. That's where I experience a lot more breakage, fairy knots, and shedding. So I like to make sure that my hair is protected. And throughout the week, I will either rehydrate with some water to reactivate that product and go in and define it a little bit, or I will just allow it to be itself. I will allow the wash and go to age naturally, because I also really like when my hair is kind of frizzy, because that helps it to expand and let it become more like my hair looks thicker and fuller. So frizz is also not bad at all. But yeah, and I will also apply more scalp serum, whatever I need to do to make sure my scalp is moisturized, my hair is moisturized and hydrated throughout the week. I will do that. My hair typically lasts the whole week. I like to style my hair for the week, and so my wash and go is no different. I will keep it in for a week, maximum 10 days, because again, that product buildup is something serious, and so I break out easily. I know this, so I have to be on a tight schedule. My hair runs a very strict program around here, so I have to stay on top of ensuring that I'm washing when I need to wash. Okay, so yes, and that is basically it. It's pretty simple, it's pretty easy. This is my routine that I have perfected over the last 3-4 months for my wash and go, and I really just wanted to share it with you guys. If you have any additional questions, just leave them in the comments and I may make a follow-up or a separate video to that. I could give you guys more insight on the products that I've been using for my wash and goes, or some of my favorites that I've used in the past. Currently, I'm taking a break from doing wash and goes, and we're entering into fall/winter. The air is colder, my hair gets drier quicker, my skin gets drier quicker, so I'm trying to figure out what my routine is going to be for the next 4 to 6 months. And so once I figure that out, I will come give you guys an update. But this is all for the video. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.